After finishing Legend of K back in 2008 for the first time, I've always wondered if Neon Studios or Jewwood had any plans for a sequel. The game had the potential for a franchise, at least that is what I thought back then, and I still do. I've always wondered if there were ever any plans for a PSP release after having witnessed a DS iteration. To me, it just seemed like a missed opportunity not to make something for the PSP. But guess what? A PSP game was briefly in production and a sequel as well. I have information about both, thanks to director and programmer Peter Thierolf. Production on a Legend of K sequel began immediately after the release of the first game. Unfortunately, it didn't progress far. According to Anthony Christolakis, the game was only 20% or 30% complete. The project leaders of Legend of K were Jan Jokel and Pete Wellington, whereas Peter Thierolf was the lead programmer. However, for the sequel, Peter Thierolf was going to be the lead director. Peter Thierolf was also the man responsible for pushing to revive Legend of K. He also cited in numerous interviews that if the remaster sold well, he'd be happy to make a follow-up. I guess we'll have to wait and see. The official name of the sequel wasn't simply Legend of K2. The name, as shared by Peter Thierolf, was Legend of K2 Black Cats. Thanks to Peter Thierolf, the story of the sequel was now revealed. They just wanted to make their Shaolin exam, but someone had other plans. When Su Ling and Kei arrive at Dao Dao, a neighboring island to Yinqing and home of the local Shaolin monastery, they still speak of the adventure they went through, fighting Tak and Shun in Legend of K. All those events seem so far away already. Then suddenly, during the famous Ghost Festival, people of Dao Dao celebrate to honor and feed the ghosts. The sealed doors to the demon world crack open. Ghosts and demons start to take charge. The Shaolin monks, fearless and fierce fighters as they are, can only defend their monastery. It is up to Kei to face the legions of evil, uncover the plans of the Black Villain Ghost Princess, and meet an old acquaintance. The PSP game was going to be its own thing. According to Peter, the game was originally conceived as Legend of K Challengers, but submitted to Sony under the title Legend of K Shaolin Masters. The story of the PSP game was the following. Back from Walu, Kei receives a challenging invitation after most of the guerrillas have been expelled from the island. The honest and glorious martial arts schools have been reopened. A generous sponsor invited the 4 champions of martial arts from the mainland for a great championship on Dao Dao to identify the ultimate weapons master of all time. Kei travels the island to challenge the 4 masters in combat and learn their unique fighting styles. Dangerous trials and guardians await him on his way, but our noble sponsor plots a vicious plan. He wants to open the forgotten entrance to the world of demons on Dao Dao, which has been sealed and protected a long time ago. He uses Kei and the other Shaolin masters to break the seals, telling them it's part of the trials. Once the entrance cracks open, demons and ghosts start to take charge of Dao Dao. It is up to Kei and his friends to face the legions of evil, uncover the plans of our noble sponsor, and meet an old acquaintance. Legend of K2 was going to improve on the combat mechanics. According to Peter, this is what Legend of K2 was going to improve upon. When I emailed Peter, he shared some behind-the-scenes facts concerning K. When Neon Studios ended because of Juwood's failure to pay salaries, we even had plans to finish the product with a new, non-fill-in hero. A human cartoon character was created, but at the very end, it was only used in a PS2 demo that was used to promote a copy protection system of Sony DADC Austria that I created.